Unlike physical characters, there are no specific ways to build a mage. This is because the location of the various elemental stats differ between each character. To build a working mage, it all boils down to increasing your best element and your magic stat. Remember to check out your elemental making and its position at the status menu. First off, you need to know what panels have the best elemental growth. On the very top is Fortune Teller, which also doubles as a very good adventure skill. Down the line are the map panels, specifically Cave Guide and Road Guide. These two skills are your primary source of elemental growth in-game. Further down are familiars, tablets, and keys. You might recognize some of these panels and their uses from the magic tutorial. Because they are useful, their elemental growth are slightly lower than other panels. Now, here's the interesting part. Combos apply to elements as well. Map panel combos give bonuses in water, combos of key give bonus in earth, tablet combos give bonus to all elements equally, while familiar combos give bonuses to the magic stat. There are yet more combos to cover, but these are the most relevant. Although what element a magic character uses depends mostly on his growth, know that the elements vary in usability. This is dependent on many factors, such as the available choices of spells, the panel bonuses, and equipment support. Water is head and shoulders above the rest. It has the only basic healing spell and a multi-target attack spell. Nearly all endgame equipment add damage to water. Map panels give combo bonus to water. The list goes on. If water is your best element, there are good times to be had building your mage character. Fire is next down the line. It has a plethora of damage spells, both single target and multi-target, and lots of equipment support. It also has very good physical damage buffs. If you want damage, then fire is your answer. Earth is third. It has the luxury of getting combo bonuses from key panels, meaning it has lots of damage potential, but it only has one basic attack spell, so you can't really depend on it as a proper attack source. It has a bunch of great buffs though, both offensive buffs and defensive buffs. Next is Metal. It has a few damaging multi-attack spells, but suffers from lack of LP damage and equipment and panel support. Last is Wood. It has some really good utility spells and great equipment support, but its only attack spell is so rare that it's nearly impossible to build a wood mage with any attack capabilities. On the contrary, building a wood mage means you do not increase the wood stat. Simply learn the spells and cast away. It makes no difference if you have wood growth or not. Finally, we need to know a few rules of thumb. Consider these when building your mage. 1. Elemental growth is more important than magic growth. Unless you're using non-elemental or forbidden magic, if your best element is in the way of your magic growth, feel free to overwrite it. 2. Water beats every other element. Since it has the only healing spell, even if water isn't your strongest element, every mage should dabble a bit in it. The same goes with wood. Since it doesn't rely on stat, learn them anyway if wood is not your strong element. Most mages will have water and wood as their secondary spells. 3. Magic Blender makes you awesome. The best and most powerful spells are only available with this awesome panel. Place it on a joint combo with a magic tablet for awesome bonuses. Note that the Magic Blender panel itself has good ability growth rather than elemental growth. So the preferable place for it is at the bottom left where the magic growth is at its highest. Now let's start building. The first step is recognizing your strongest element. This should be where your Fortune Teller panel goes. Let's say your strongest element is here in the top right, hence Fortune Teller is placed here accordingly. Next, aim for the line bonus of map, placing Cave and Road Guide in the middle on mid-right to further boost the elemental stat. Complete the line with any other map panel, usually Architect. Finally, a joint panel combo of a Magic Tablet and Magic Blender at the bottom panels should complete the build. Note that Magic Blender is placed next to the magic stat to give it ability growth. Of course, if your character's stronger element is in a different position, you need to build differently. These builds are simple variations of the previously mentioned build, all depending on the location of the elements. Okay, now what bonuses does this net us overall? The line of level 4 maps gave us plus 10 to water, while a joint combo of tablet and blender gave us plus 5 to all elements. Not too shabby. Alternately, if you're willing to sacrifice some damage for defense, then you might consider using a shield panel. Instead of the line combo of map, we aim for a joint combo of map and place the shield in our usual dump panel. Instead, our middle panel is now our damp panel. Simply pick whatever panel that has the highest elemental growth during the panel selection screen. These builds are the most basic of all. There's so many other variables, so it's a matter of tinkering for better panels. For one, you don't always get Magic Blender, and there are often other higher ability growth panels to tempt you to change your build. Of all the builds, Battle Mages seem to be the most useless. Why on earth would you build a character that is mediocre in every way instead of focusing on what makes a character powerful? The answer is versatility. Whether it's a warrior that can heal or deal with large groups of enemies, splashing a bit of magic here and there is helpful in a lot of circumstances. These builds are highly customized for each character, so I won't include them in this tutorial. Instead, why don't we demonstrate them on a character? For our guinea pig, let's use Laura. Looking at her stats, we see that she has a making of 4 strength out of 5, meaning she could do very good damage with strength weapons. However, when we look at her elemental growth, we can see that the fire is her strongest element. Even more convenient for us is the fact that her strongest element is in a different position from her strongest attack stat. This is good because it means she is game for all 3 types of builds. First up, of course, is the strength build Laura. This build with Iron Body will net her with 65 strength, which is the maximum using level 4 panels. Ultimately, you could also use level 5 panels to further boost her stats. With endgame equipment, Laura is almost guaranteed to do 3 LP damage a pop. Next is her fire build. With proper combos in place, this will give her 59 fire, which is a lot by mage's standards. Unfortunately, her growth in other elements is a bit lackluster, so she becomes somewhat of a one-trick pony as a mage character. Which is why our final build, which is the warrior mage build, looks so attractive. With 60 strength, 33 magic and 44 fire, her stats aren't as high as some of the other builds, but what we have here is a really wonderful and versatile build for Laura. She can deal with everything, from single targets to groups of monsters, and she can cast support magic should the need arise. On some occasions, you might happen across a negative panel during the panel selection screen. These panels give penalties to your character in exchange for really great stat boosts and combo bonuses. The 3 types of negative panels are Phobia, Pacifist, and Seal Weapons. Phobia greatly reduces the damage you deal against certain monster types. If you have a phobia against birds, then more often than not, you deal no damage to them. Pacifist is similar, but it will instead reflect a large amount of damage from the opponents of certain species. Seal Weapon is also simple. You can't use the particular weapon type that is sealed. The more important thing though is that these panels cannot be replaced. Once placed, these panels cannot be removed unless replaced with another negative panel. So be wary of the consequences. Of all the panels, Phobia panels are probably the only useful ones. These panels themselves give really high elemental growth, but they also have very high strength and magic growth in combos. In short, a Phobia character has the potential to be the highest damage dealers in game, physical and magical, and have the power to cast healing spells too. They are, however, unable to damage 2 monster types. They don't have room for tablets, so they need to learn the magic before completing the build. All in all, negative panels are only recommended for experts looking for a little challenge. The usual Phobia build involves a line combo of melee and a joint combo of Phobia, giving a massive plus 16 to strength and plus 10 to magic and endurance. Now that was a long tutorial. Tune in next time where we deal with blacksmithing and equipment in Myth's tutorial. See you guys later. Bye bye.